Hello everybody! I hope everybody is having a fantastic Valentine's Day. Hello! I'm finally using my motto for lives! Heck yeah! Hopefully this won't lag much. I played The Sims 4 last night live and it did pretty good. So hopefully this will work. I don't know if dual streaming is going to bring it down any, but please let me know if I'm lagging very, very bad or something. And yay! This is so cool. But I do hope everybody is having a fantastic Valentine's Day today. And for some reason, if you don't have a special someone, I will be your Valentine. I will love you to the ends of the earth, my chickadees. I love you very much. And I hope you are having a fantastic day of just snuggling, eating chocolate, you know, and all the good stuff. Maybe some hot chocolate, a nice blanket, a romance book, or in this case, a boys love romance novel. I am, and early today I saw someone playing the class president route from Mannequin Academy, and oh boy, it was the same as your Nora route, but following day was different. Really? Huh. Huh. Do you think they did a sneaky update? Or we have different versions of the game? That's really interesting. I'll have to check that out. Okay, I'm just so excited. I finally have my model for lives. I think my new internet can like cover this well. Okay, now that I'm done admiring myself, we can jump back in to the divine speaker. Alright. We left off somewhere.
Maybe not, but your companions are. What do you want from us?
Okay. Okay, we left off, they were making their way to, the hidden city. Yeah, I laughed so hard because Oscar got karma. He deserves that karma, okay? Oscar's an evil little alpha. Okay, he's not really little, but he's evil. He deserves it. He really deserves it. But yeah, we left off with them trying to get to the, like, little city. Like, where I guess they send all the old people? Am I right? No, I think this is, like, where they have the gods are hidden at or something. I don't know. I forgot. So we're just gonna jump in. The person hugging him is, the little voice in his head that had been giving him instructions to get out of things. Get out of trouble. But she has a body now, so.
We need your help. We won't take no for an answer.
Awful pushy for a beggar.
We've come to request the help of the village gods. Sid Kaem, no. All of Vidus is in grave danger. And we can't face it alone.
It's Lucius, isn't it?
How did you know?
We've crossed paths more than once. I sensed it as soon as he entered Sid Kaem.
Yes, it's, him. He is causing a whole lot of trouble.
We don't interfere with human problems. You'll have to go elsewhere.
Isn't there anyone in charge we could speak to? Please, an audience is all we ask.
Good going, Fawn. Very smart.
There's someone you can speak to, but his answer will be no different.
Well, still let us speak to him.
No matter what he says, I'll support you. Sylvia, can you take Raen in and look at his injuries?
No problem.
Severe turned and walked into the village silently. We all followed along, but Morwen caught a hold of Caspian and Emil's sleeves.
Will be just a moment.
Oh, she wants to talk to you guys. Now, what to do about these two? Truly, my children are far too troublesome.
Do you, need something?
Morwen stared into both their faces, and they looked back with confused expressions.
You two.
You've been very naughty boys.
Oh, oh my gosh! Is that the queen? Is that the queen? But look, she even pulled him in for a hug. Oh, she definitely knew them when they were little boys. That is actually adorable. I stopped on the class president Mannequin Academy route, so I don't spoil too much. But that karma was sweet, and oh boy, class president was ruthless. Yeah. I think at the moment we've covered all the Mannequin Academy routes that are available. I'm just waiting for updates. So, I think I know everything that's currently in the game. Unless they did a sneaky update I don't know about. What is it, kitty cat? What is it, kitty cat? Oh, you want cuddles? Come on. Come on. There we go. Hello, baby. Okay, somebody needed daddy cuddles. No, hey, where you going? Where you going? Oh, he left me. He came and left. Okay. Very naughty boys.
Don't think that the two of you went below my radar. Raen wasn't the first kid I've watched over.
Oh, she was keeping an eye on them when they were young, too.
You two have been fighting for far too long. It's about time you stopped. When you two were children, you got along so well. If it hurts me this much to see you like this, then how do you two feel? To see you side by side again, it's enough to make me cry. I know it won't be instant. Wounds don't heal so easily. But all I ask is that you try. Even if it takes years, I believe in both of you.
Oh, she's shipping it.
Thank you, miss. But...
Miss? I'm a lot older than both of you, you know. Older than every single person in this village put together. You might think I'm meddling, but...
Dang, how old are you? Morwen squeezed the two of them tighter.
I can see it. A long string, twisted and filled with knots as it is, that connects the two of you. Even after all of these years, I still see it.
Are you saying these two are destined soulmates?
It's not possible. Not anymore.
Ah, I love this angle. Look at he's kind of posed like what, like he's so not expecting this. They're both not, but that's adorable.
I hope you'll change your mind, my little speaker. You've been through a lot. Don't blame yourself so much, okay? Well, we shouldn't keep the others waiting, should we?
Morwen finally withdrew from the hug, but the other two lingered awkwardly.
What are you standing around for? Decided to hug and make up?
They both looked off to the side awkwardly, eyes darting around as if in search of a place to escape to. In response, Morwen reached up and pinched their cheeks, smiling all the while.
Follow me then. There's plenty of time for making up later.
She ships them. She ships them.
Ah!
Ugh, don't be a baby. It'll feel better in no time.
Right now it hurts.
Sevilla poured a tonic onto my wounds before rewrapping them. The two of us were alone. Vaughn was waiting outside the room, along with Varus and Ilran. Caspian and Emil were still nowhere in sight, since Morwen pulled them to the side. Finally, I put my shirt back on over the gauze while Severe busied herself returning the medical supplies to their respective cupboards and boxes.
What are you staring at?
Well, you?
Mind your tongue before you lose it.
She's a little harsh. Just a little, just a little.
Why are you helping me?
Where are you going, kitty? He's on my table over here, threatening to knock over my drink. Draco! Draco, where you going? Draco? Draco. I touched him and he wasn't expecting me to, and he just flinched. Buddy. Buddy. There. Okay, there you go. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, he went chasing after his brother. Oh my goodness.
Morwen asked me to. Don't read into it so much.
You still could have said no.
I'm sorry. Would you prefer I undress your wound?
No, no. I'm sorry, okay? I'm just curious about you.
Ugh, if you have questions, then out with them already. There's nothing I can stand less than people playing coy.
You're Sylvere, the famous cartographer?
Her eyes went wide. Her mouth almost formed a full O before she composed herself.
How did you know that?
So it's true.
Anyone that remembers me is long dead or lost at the bottom of the ocean. I asked you a question. How did you know that?
I came across your journal. It was pure luck, I promise. I didn't realize you'd be here.
You can read Toggin.
Well, no. But I had someone with me that could. How did you end up here again? Last I read, you were guided out.
Was that the journal we found at the very beginning? Hey, O'Hillia! Welcome in! Oh boy, kitty dramas. I feel the pain. My grandma's house cat is a nutcase, but hope today is a good day. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I didn't hear a cat fight, so I think they just chased each other and chilled. Yeah, O'Hillia, look, another Mannequin Academy player. You two would get on fantastically.
A curious one, aren't you?
Yes, we are.
Please?
What else did you expect to happen? I died. I thought that was it for me, but apparently, enough assholes thought good of me and I ascended as a god. Original, right?
All the gods I met ascended before the Aurelian War. What was it like exactly?
Cold.
Cold?
At first, it's like being held underwater.
Ooh.
Desperate to breathe, but every breath you take fills your lungs with water. But you keep trying anyway.
That sounds horrible.
Then it's as if you're being pulled in all directions at once, in an endless abyss of darkness.
And then what?
I don't know what comes next. Then I fell down to the earth. Maybe that's the point where gods used to ascend to the heavens to watch over humans. But life isn't like that for us anymore. I just fell. I would have died for real then if I didn't find this body. I guess it was fate that I happened to fall as this body was dying.
Rain, here you are.
Morwen.
Emil and Caspian are with your companions. Sylvia?
She had to give them a little lecture first.
I patched him up. I'll give you a moment.
I do not really have the Mannequin Academy game, but I watched YouTube videos on it. I actually found that game because of your series on Mannequin Academy. So thanks for showing me a new visual novel. Oh, you're so welcome! I'm glad I introduced you to it. It's like, you don't see a lot of Omegaverse BL games. So, I'm really glad. The creators have made a lot of other games, and we've played a couple on the channel too. You might be interested in if you like the way they tell their stories. Her voice is serving, yeah, is a good voice actor. Before I could open my mouth to reply, Severe fled the room, leaving me alone with Morwen.
How are you feeling?
Honestly, it's still painful. I can deal with it. Will you tell me how you got here?
She walked forward a few steps before sitting down on the bed that sat in the corner of the room. She motioned for me to join her.
I stayed with you until we reached Sid Kaem. I was trying to warn you before then, but I still couldn't speak to you properly. It's probably because you have no training as a speaker. It's a wonder I could reach you at all.
I'm sorry.
In our defense, we didn't know we were a speaker until like half a day ago.
It's not your fault.
She reached out and cut my cheek, a smile playing across her lips.
Once Lucius reached Sid Kaem, I knew he'd find you instantly if I stayed connected to you. It might have only bought you a little bit of time, but if that means the difference between your life or death, well, the choice was obvious to me.
Even though you could have died?
Her hand fell from my cheek to my hand, clasping it softly with her gloved fingers.
When you've lived as long as I have, sometimes that doesn't seem like such a bad thing. Well, you can obviously tell I didn't die. Sylvia found me and guided me towards a body. I was weak, unused to the weight of flesh. She brought me back here to heal. I wanted to run away, to come find you, but my legs wouldn't listen.
Thank you for everything.
There's nothing to thank me for, my child. I barely did anything.
I shook my head and smiled. She'd done more for me than she realized. The door suddenly opened and in stepped Varys.
Varys?
Varys smiled as he approached, surprised.
You recognize me after all.
It's been a long time, God of the Harvest.
And you, Goddess of Water.
You two know each other?
It sounds like it.
We've never met in our human forms, since I was locked away in Aurelia Cavella. But we knew of each other before then.
How is it in there?
Dire. They're all going insane.
Ooh.
We're only a handful of what we used to be, too. Lucius has consumed many of the old gods.
Cause he downright devoured them? Oh no. Oh, what are you guys saying over here? Yeah. Yeah, the other one by those devs is Glass Hearts, as Ohelia says, which is up on the channel, and the spicier one is on Patreon. And to quote, the sound like a sin being read out loud. Yes, yes. I had to stop drinking my coffee before I laughed and spilled on myself from laughing so much. I'm glad you liked it. I'm hoping it sounds, our readings sound more like an audiobook, so it's like nice and chill. Who are all these fine people dying and getting their bodies stolen? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you think about it, well, we do know that, Varys, whenever he came to Earth, he actually arrived in the body of a dying infant. So he's been in this body since pretty much right at the start. So he inhabited a body of a infant. But all the other people, all the other gods have these nice, beautiful bodies that, you know, we're dying. What? Is there somebody out there just going through and killing all the pretty people because they're jealous? Oh, I'm glad it made you feel better, Quinn. That's lovely. Oh, okay. Focus back on the game. We're being distracted, but I don't care. I think we're getting close to the end of the game, so we can stretch it out some. Why did he consume the other ones?
No wonder he's so powerful.
Oh.
A mix of humans and gods to feast onto his heart's desire.
If you intend to fight him, then I'll be there too.
I fear that even with the two of us, it won't be enough.
Then we need the help of the villagers.
Ferris nodded solemnly, thinking.
Sylvia says that it won't happen.
It will be difficult. Their leader has no interest in humans. I don't trust him.
As I've heard.
Before long, the door opened again, and the rest of the group rejoined us. Severe already looked as if she was ready to punch Ilrain in the face! He's working his magic. It's a gift, really. How can he get under someone's skin that quickly?
Rain, are you okay?
There's our baby! Fawn rushed forward and quickly stood up from the bed to catch him in my arms.
I'm okay. It still hurts a little, but I'm sure it'll heal quickly.
Jeez, get a room.
We could if we would.
We found our room. You could leave if you want.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm touched. The little puppy's gotten a little spice, hasn't he? Ah, they grow up so fast.
Fawn reached up and cut my face with his hands. I smiled back at him to dispel his worries.
If you're done being all lovey-dovey, it's time to meet our leader. He'll just be waking up, and we'll miss him if we don't hurry.
Waking up? It's night, though.
Exactly. Quickly now.
Her black-red hair spun around as she turned to leave yet again. The others followed behind her, leaving me with Fawn.
Come on. You might say no, but asking won't hurt. Rain. What is it?
Leaning down, he softly kissed me before drawing back again.
I'm glad you're okay. If anything were to happen to you, just know that I'd die for you if I had to.
Oh. Draco! Draco! Oh my gosh. Now my cat found a plastic bag and he's in there going ham on it. Draco! Yeah, you! Oh my gosh. He loves crunchy crunch things, so, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's just like, right in the background, it's Why is the, guy sleeping during the day? But Fawn... Okay, I so got distracted. But Fawn said he'd die for us. Aww. I hope it don't come to that. I shook my head and ran my fingers through his pale hair.
Rather than dying for me, I'd rather you promise me your future instead.
His hand found my face and gently ran his fingers down my skin, down to my chest, my arm, and finally he caught my hand. He smiled at me, sadly, before pulling me towards the door. Severe guided us through the quiet, sleep-filled village. No one stirred behind those closed doors. No one peeked out between their shutters. By now, everyone must have been sound asleep.
What's he like? Your leader?
He's kind-hearted, but don't think that makes him soft. He's tough, both mentally and physically. His answer will be no different than mine.
I'm sure between them, they'll be able to convince him.
You shouldn't give him false hope like that.
I believe in them. Is that so bad?
Severe offered no argument in return, but she suddenly stopped in her tracks.
Stay here. I'll let him know we have visitors.
She disappeared into a small house. A murmuring of voices could be heard inside, but I couldn't tell what they were saying. When she reappeared, she took Morwen's arm.
What are you doing?
They complete their case by themselves. I need to talk to you.
Fine. Rain, good luck.
A few moments after they disappeared around a corner, the door to the small house opened once again. I could feel my heart beating in my throat. It all rides on convincing this guy. We can do it. Right? One step, then two, and finally, he came into view. Oh, hello. Hello. I wasn't expecting that. He's got orange hair. He looks like a little punk. Hello, buddy. Oh no, Kitty, what are you doing? Apparently having fun. It was in the hall, but now the bag's completely gone. Oh no, I don't know what he did with it. I actually posted a dude roasting Fawn's design so much. Every time I see him now, I think of his words I posted on Discord. I hadn't watched a video yet. I was like, oh no. Am I ready to watch somebody dissing my baby? So I hadn't watched it yet. Yeah, Quinn, you should, by the way, you should join our Discord. We have a whole lot of fun over there, and we post, like, stuff on Mannequin Academy and everything. I hope the enemy in this game are not like the hollows from Bleach series Shivers. No, I don't want that. Trying to eat my soul. Get a room. Oh, sassy boy. Yeah, I hope they do an update soon on them. Hello, Orange Shadow Man. Who are you, sir? Yeah, orange hair. That's awesome. I feel like you don't see that many characters with orange hair. A tall man with wide shoulders and a serious expression on his face. He shut the door behind them and looked down at me with a frown. He was surrounded by an air of strength, of fierceness and authority. His spiky, flame-colored hair stood out even in the darkness. His eyes passed over all of us before going wide. Instantly, the fierceness left his features, and in its place was a warmth that was previously missing.
Varys.
Dude, look at all your designs. Is that metal? Were you the god of death or something?
Elliot?
Elliot Godslayer? Of course it's Elliot Godslayer. Oh my god.
I thought you were dead.
I thought the same of you. Dear friend, it's been far too long.
Varys stepped forward, a rare look of complete happiness on his face. He was usually so calm, so composed.
If I'd known it was you, I would have hurried to greet you. What are you doing here?
I'm afraid this isn't a social visit. We need your help, and the situation is looking dire. Firstly, let me introduce you to everyone. Meet Elliot the Brave, the god of war, and a dear friend of mine. We've known each other for as long as I can remember, but we lost track of one another around 100 years ago.
The god of war. Yeah, no worries if you don't have a Discord. I also, post around on Twitter sometimes. The god of death is a ginger, but if he is, then welcome god of death. God of war, yeah. He's god of war, but I swear, wasn't he called Elliot the Godslayer at one point?
Elliot? As in the Godslayer, Elliot?
Yes, I was right. Elliot the Brave, once Sid Caham's defender against the gods, was reborn after his death as the god of war. These days, he stays holed up in the secret village, guarding and guiding the lost gods within. He's scared of losing the people he's supposed to protect all over again.
You're familiar with my legend, then?
I am, but weren't you on Sid Caham's side? Fighting against the gods?
Funny how life works out, isn't it?
He's like, yeah, I'm a god now, so...
You got an interesting party, Varys. Unless I'm seeing things. Hey.
There's no hiding anything from you. This is Ilron, my lifelong companion. and that's Fawn. And then we have Caspian, Crown Prince of Aurelia Cavella.
Hello there.
Lastly, this is Rain and Emil. They're, well...
Divine speakers.
Oh, he didn't sound happy. Varys nodded in response and his eyes narrowed.
I know that at this point you must find it hard to trust them, but I wouldn't bring humans here if I didn't have faith in them.
He sighed and the conversation grinded to a halt. His eyes finally left Varys and he looked into my face.
If you understand that, then you shouldn't have brought them here in the first place. Seeing as you went against your better judgment, though, I assume you're in some kind of trouble?
I wish I could say we weren't. Rain?
I'm sure you already know about the gods trapped in Aurelia Cavella.
It's ever present in my mind.
I came from Aurelia Cavella. It was my home for 18 years. I had to leave, and a lot has happened since then. But none of that is important right now. A god is broken free from Aurelia Cavella, and his power threatens all of Vidus. He's taken a body in Sid Caem, and he intends to make everyone bow to his will. He calls himself the god of all gods.
He's too powerful to be called a mere god or demon anymore. I've never met anyone with so much raw energy surrounding them.
We couldn't possibly defeat him alone, you see.
Varys, tell me you didn't come all this way to waste my time.
He speaks the truth. He's a danger to not only humans, but all of us as well.
It's not our battle to fight. We've long since given up on protecting humans.
It is your battle to fight! He's a god, a former speaker, and someone who will not only eliminate any that stand in his way, but he'll keep the rest of the Yo-Gods trapped inside of Aurelia Cavella where they can't go against him! Do you think you'll fall under his radar? When he learns you're out here, he won't let you go on like this.
If we can get rid of him, then the Aurelian gods will finally be let free. Isn't that what you want?
He sighed and crossed his arms tighter over his chest. Visibly, you could see he was thinking, and thinking hard at that.
Please, Elliot. We're begging for your support. Without it, we have no chance at winning.
I want to help you. I do. But it's not so easy. The others won't be convinced with mere words. They've cut all ties to humanity, and a threat to a human city means nothing to them. We look out for ourselves, first and foremost. How many would die in battle against someone with so much power? Most of the gods here are not so different to humans. They're peaceful, simple. They aren't made for war.
Huh. The god of war turning down an opportunity like this?
I mean, yeah. Lifelong partner, but you don't want to leave him. Yeah. The way he paused before he said lifelong partner, though.
I'm not the god of war by choice.
But you could make the choice to use it for the greater good.
I don't believe in the greater good. Who's to say your good is greater than those in the village?
There's really nothing we can say to convince you?
You can stay here the night. That's the most I can offer.
Elliot.
Morwen, show them to where they can sleep. I'll be back tomorrow.
Morwen nodded to Elliot, who turned and sulked off to the night.
By the looks on your faces, I assume it didn't go well.
No.
He won't help.
Don't think too badly of him. He's a good person, but the weight of everyone's lives is heavy on his mind. He's always been stubborn. Stubborn, but not unfair.
Yeah, like, I'm not blaming the dude. The dude is thinking about the gods in this little small village that he's taking care of because he doesn't want nothing to happen to them. So he's trying, as a leader, he's thinking of the people he's protecting first.
Perhaps a good night's sleep will help to clear your mind.
Maybe.
Come, follow me. Rain, wait there for a moment.
And suddenly, I was alone. Morwen guided the rest to various rooms to rest for the night while I stood in the street. can you let us, share a room with Fawn? High up in the mountains, the breeze was colder than ever. Once again, I thanked Ash in my mind for the warmth my clothes brought to me. Sign, Leos. Stay safe. Please. I'll do whatever I can to save you.
Hello, Raen.
You surprised me.
You were completely zoned out. A lot on your mind?
Sign and Leos. I'm worried about them.
As am I.
I can't say I'm exactly full of confidence if even the goddess of water is worried.
It's a fancy title for a not-so-important person, I promise. I was little more than a laundry girl in my lifetime. It was different then. The towns and villages I knew have long since been forgotten.
How long ago did you become a god?
I don't know anymore, Raen.
It sounds hard. I don't think I'd be able to do it.
What part?
Struggling in a world that's forgotten you. Watching people around you die while you live forever.
It's harder now than ever. When we were a part of the heavens, it wasn't so much of a big deal.
Because you were surrounded by your own kind, right?
Exactly. Many have had no choice but to blend in with human society. We've become so tightly interwoven that the pain of living forever is much more apparent than before.
Like Raen and His.
No, it went very badly, but at least he's letting them stay the night. Yeah. I want to see Fawn so badly. We just smashed and we don't even get a date. They did just smash. Lauren smiled at me sadly.
It's been a long time since I've seen a case like that. They both mean the world to each other. In fact, I'd say they mean even more than that. It just makes it all the more painful in the long run. Varys has seen people die around him for hundreds of years.
Varys plans to pass on after the Aurelian gods are freed.
It's tough.
May I ask you some questions?
Of course you can.
Alright, here we go. Do you know much about Elrond? Yes.
Do you know anything about Elrond?
I feel like I should be asking you that. I can't say I know anything, but I'm deeply curious.
Apparently he came from Aurelia Cavella as a kid. He works as a bounty hunter now, as far as I'm aware. I guess somewhere along the way he met Varys, and they've been traveling together ever since.
They have a strange relationship. It's nice. They're both so different from each other. Differing personalities, differing backgrounds, differing lifespans. Yet, they're as close as can be. I envy that.
Varys seems good for Elrond.
Elrond for Varys, too, by the looks of it. They give each other something that they've never had before.
Aww. What were Emil and Caspian like before?
Were Emil and Caspian much different when they were younger?
Emil and Caspian? Oh, completely different.
Will you tell me about them?
Well, Emil was much more reserved and quiet, but he also had quite a fiery temper. Most people would have called him shy, except for Caspian, who knew him well. He was a good kid, hardworking and kind. It was too much for him, though. I could tell he wanted to grow up as a normal child with a normal family.
What about Caspian?
He was like the sun. Warm and bright, full of energy. He was confident beyond measure, and he had a strong sense of adventure. A natural-born leader. When he spoke, people listened. Emil admired that greatly.
They're both so different.
That's what time does to you. They had time to be bitter, so their emotions boiled inside of them, with nowhere to go.
You think they'll be able to make up?
I hope so. Both of them deserve it, but who knows? It's not an easy thing to forgive someone. What about you? Do you forgive Emil or Caspian?
I think so. Caspian... No, my father. Had he known I was alive, I'm sure he would have come back for me, right?
Morwen nodded in response, listening closely.
And Emil... He's a victim of circumstance himself. Sure, he could have ignored the voice that was screaming at him to have me killed, but... After so many years full of anger, am I even sure I'd do any different?
I like that about you, Rain. You're so positive, so forgiving. It's a great strength, as long as you make sure not to let anyone walk over you.
That's pretty cool that she compared Caspian to a son, because the prequel game is about Emil and Caspian when they were younger, and it's called The Divine Speaker's Sun and Moon. So that's pretty clever. If what being a god is like in the game's world, then I'd stay as a human in this world, but it's very interesting so far. Yeah. Nox might as well be dead if he hadn't been mentioned. Might as well be dead if he hasn't been mentioned. Yeah, he might be dead. You know, we're struggling to get, oh god, I forgot his name. The body Nox was, inhabiting back alive, but... Or back awake, at least. He is still alive. Can you tell me more about Lucius?
Is there anything else you can tell me about Lucius?
Our foe.
I'd like to think I know him well enough. When he was speaker and Emil was just a babe, we talked on many occasions. He's the type of person that lives in the shadows and only acts once he's sure he can win. It was the same when he killed the royal family. He plotted it for years. His only regret was that Caspian got away.
Why would Emil trust him so much if he was evil from the start? He drove the wedge between my father and him, right?
Saying my father still sounded weird and unnatural.
Lucius was his mentor and father figure. It was hard for Emil to imagine him doing wrong. When you're brought up like a speaker, it must be awfully lonely.
How so?
You don't know?
I shook my head in response to her surprised tone.
They're taken from their parents at birth, forbidden to know so much as their names.
Oh gosh.
Why?
It's tradition. The way it's always been. Speakers also have a habit of being born around the same time as princes, so it's always made sense that they should be raised together.
So Emil and Caspian were raised together because they were born around the same time, and one destined to be the speaker and one destined to be the prince. Our boy escaped that because, yeah, they're just like, oh, we're just gonna cover up and pretend he's not the divine speaker, so he was dropped in the orphanage. So, does that mean... Wait. He's a prince and the divine speaker. Never mind. I was gonna be like, oh, what about a prince? Is there a prince born during the same time as him? No, dude. He's the freaking divine speaker and a prince. Oh my god. Well, he's a double whammy, guys. He's a double whammy. Oh, that's kind of sad. But we have fun. We good.
If they're to rule together, they must know each other better than they know themselves. Lucius, he used their relationship to his advantage. He's a snake of a man.
Will we be able to beat him?
I don't know.
Tell me about more when you were human.
Will you tell me more about when you were human?
You want to know more about me?
Please?
Can you remember it?
Well, I came from a small village on the coast to the south of Vidus. It was called Mirefall. It's long since been wiped from both memory and map. I grew up as the daughter of farmers, and I mostly did odd jobs around the village. You're probably wondering how a simple person like me ascended, right?
I was wondering about that, but I thought it might be rude to ask.
Nonsense. I said I'd share anything with you. A great illness passed through my village, and many people died. Our elders told us that the gods had forsaken us, that this was a curse sent from the heavens for our sins.
She trolled some of her hair between her fingers, looking up into the star-filled sky.
I was in no position to argue with them. I was just the laundry girl. But one day, as I went to the river to wash the clothes, I noticed that something about the water seemed wrong. It sounds silly, doesn't it? It should be common knowledge that bad water can make you sick. But it wasn't known back then.
This really must have been a long time ago.
The elders wouldn't listen to my findings, so I took it into my own hands. I came back with the knowledge of how to purify water, and lo and behold, the sickness stopped.
Girl, that's badass. That's badass. She took it into her own hands to figure out how to purify it, and she did so and pretty much saved her village. That's pretty cool.
You must have been thought of as a hero.
I hope she was. She deserved it.
From most of the village, yes.
Most of it?
The elders shunned me at first, embarrassed that a simple girl like me could solve the issue, while they sat around twiddling their thumbs. The shunning became outright anger, though.
I'm so sorry.
A few months later, I was washing the village's clothes down by the river, as I always do. It was running wildly, angrily. Someone pushed me, and I drowned. That was the end of my story, yet here I am today.
Oh my god, one of the elders must have had that happen, because, oh.
Don't worry. It was a long time ago now. I'm not upset about it.
Morin was one of the gods trapped within a relic of Ella, and the voice that had been speaking to me over the course of my journey. She had been keeping an eye on me for many years. As a human, she grew up in a small village called Mirefall that has long since been wiped from both memory and map. A great illness passed through her village, killing many of the inhabitants. Instead of agreeing with the elders that it was a curse, Morwen devised a way of purifying the water, saving many lives. Embarrassed over being shown up by a simple laundry girl, the elders were furious. Sadly, the tale ended with Morwen drowning in the river she loved so much, pushed in by a person unknown.
I'm so angry.
Thank you, Raen.
Learn about Morwen's human life, a simple laundry girl.
That's enough from me, isn't it? There's something I'd ask of you instead.
What is it?
I want to know more about Fawn.
About Fawn? Well, let's see.
He is my boyfriend.
He's really important to me. I want to be better for him.
You chose well. He's a good, kind boy.
My face flushed, but I continued talking.
About him. There's something I'm worried about.
Oh. So she got killed because she did the job they couldn't. Yep. If the gods in this world were watching when she was human, I hope they curse the elder who pushed her in. I mean, she was a hero who saved her village. Exactly. Exactly. They just didn't want to be, like, shown up. But she went to them first. She was like, hey, listen, I think this might be the cause of, all this. And if we could just figure out how to cure the water, or, purify the water, everybody will stop being sick. And they're like, no, we're right. Everybody is being cursed. Oh, my gosh. Okay, it looks like we're going to be switching to Fawn's point of view, but I'm going to take a small little break. So everybody, get up, get a stretch in, get you a snack, some water, take your medicine, everything, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes, okay? Where's the button? Okay. Be right back, my dears. Hello, everybody. Hello. Did everybody have a nice little break? I definitely had to go get more water. I was out of water. I'm such a thirsty bird. They Joan of Arc'd her, yes. They really did. Oh, it seems like you guys had a productive break as well. Heck yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Do. Nope, not that one. Let's see. Boop. There we go. And I also made sure to take away the bag from my child. I was sitting here and I'm like, huh, something's wrong. Yeah, my headphones. Oh my gosh, they fell. Okay, we're about to dive back in, guys. Alright, as soon as I can... There's my headphones. I was wondering why I was so quiet. There we go. Hey, welcome back. Okay, we're back in Fawn's point of view now. Checking that no one was around outside, Fawn snuck out of the room that he'd been left in only a few minutes earlier. He quickly retraced his steps back to Elliot's house and knocked on the door. Welcome back, Ghost Pirate from SpongeBob. Wait. Okay, no answer. With a sigh, he turned around to leave and came face to face with the man in question. Face to face might have been an overstatement, though. It was perhaps better to describe as face to chest.
The blue one. Fawn.
The blue one?
Yes, that's me.
What are you doing here? Go rest.
I came to speak to you.
Oh, man, somebody needs to ask about if Fawn really is, like, possessed or something because he's having that thing with fire.
If you have a moment, that is.
Fawn stuttered, face to face with a man easily 3 times his size.
Come, walk with me. I'll make a moment for you.
When Fawn stood side by side with Elliot, he almost seemed like a child. It wasn't only their heights, but their builds and temperaments, too. They're completely different.
So, what is it that you wanted from me? My answer will remain unchanged. Keep that in mind.
I want to know why you won't help us.
Was my answer not already sufficient enough? These people
are the gods that we should be able to look up to.
You wouldn't understand. I don't expect you to.
Then explain it to me. Tell me about yourself and why any notion of help is so out of the question.
Held by Elliot's direct, serious gaze, Fawn felt himself freeze up, but he didn't run away or take a step back.
You've got guts, I'll give you that. Fine, I'll entertain you. Have you ever seen the destruction of war firsthand? Ever watched your friends you had for a lifetime die as if their lives meant nothing? Have you ever held the world on your shoulders and failed?
He accidentally burnt down his village and killed his parents. Does that count?
No, I haven't.
Is he a fire god or a fire fox? Ooh, fire fox would be awesome. I want answers about Fawn. Okay, there's gotta be some reason he is a bit of a pyro.
That's why you won't be able to understand. I was a shining star. A general that rose to the ranks of the Sid Km armies as if I was born for it.
He does have guts. He's in love, yes.
I saw your statue. The people there still think greatly of you.
To them, I'm nothing but a figurehead for their freedom. The fight against the divine that once held them back. That's not what I am. That's not what I ever wanted to be. I just wanted to protect my home. To do what was right. And at the time, being rid of the divine speaker who plotted against our king seemed like the right thing to do.
Is that what you still think?
I don't think that. It's so easy to judge what's right anymore. No matter how many years I live, there will always be one memory so ingrained, so burnt into my mind, that any notion of fighting becomes impossible. I stood in front of a crowd of frightened soldiers. Soldiers who wished for the warmth of their mother's cooking. Wished for a life where inscription needn't be a thing. Young, impressionable, scared. You know what I told them? I told them that they may not survive. That many of them may perish. But in doing so, the lives of the ones they love would be saved. They cheered my name. They fought for the words I gave them. And they died for them too. As did many of their loved ones who they died to protect. It was just as I told them. But as I laid bleeding out on my final battlefield, it finally hit me how scared they were. I won't lead anyone else to their demise. Not ever again.
I'm sorry for your loss. No one should have to go through something like that.
So he has a bit of PTSD guilt. Understandable. Fawn doesn't get enough love. He just has fire powers and no one asks questions? Ask all them questions. I'm sorry, but the meme song popped in my head and it's so wrong I giggle as this god tells a sad story. What meme song? Which one?
And you should be able to understand why I won't do the same to these people. In their eyes, I see a reflection of the scared, young soldiers who I killed.
So, you're scared?
There's no shame in admitting you're scared.
Of course not. My whole life, I've been scared. From the day I ran away from home, the cause of my parents' death, to 10 years later, as I stepped back into civilization, I thought I couldn't do it. There were so many points on my trip where all I wanted was to run away, to go home and pretend none of this ever happened. But I can't run away from this. Sometimes you have to take a step forward, even if you're scared.
They're not my lives to throw away. They don't care for what happens in the human cities.
That's just an excuse. They're all scared. Scared of being shunned by the people they secretly desire to worship them once again.
Maybe you're right. But...
No buts.
I'm not heartless. Of course, the idea of someone threatening the lives of so many weighs heavily on my heart. I don't like war, Fawn. But I did the things I did so others could live the peaceful life I was never allowed to have.
Then think on this seriously. Because the whole world will be affected by Lucius.
Yeah, I freaking will when he takes over. He died in war. I think it's a little bit the drama. The one going, asking all them questions, repeating and making fun of dating or something. It was all over YouTube back in 25, 26. I don't remember it. I'll try to see if I can find it later, because I'm curious.
Fine. I promise to think about it. But that's all. Here, sit beside me for a moment.
In the snow?
Well, I mean, we got warm clothes. Elliot knelt down on the ground, closing his eyes gently.
Meditation. It helps clear the mind.
Oh, he's going to teach us how to meditate? Fawn copied his movements. Snow crunching under him as he knelt down beside Elliot. When he shut his eyes, he saw a past that he could never be forgotten, and a future that, while not so long ago, felt out of reach, now felt attainable.
What do you see?
I see a green meadow, deep in a valley. A house built by my own hand. Small and simple, but a place to call home. I see rows of apple trees, and a simple life.
That's still possible, but only if we deal with Lucius.
Persistent, aren't you?
He is very persistent. Not the Lion King reference. Come, Simba, sit down. You can't go to the Pride Lands. Everything the sun touches belongs to us. What about that shadowy place? Not there. Never there. Fawn can't meditate. He has too much lust in his heart. Well, hopefully our last session with him kinda helped that out a little. 2015 was unhinged, but we all laugh and just jokes. Not in 2024. Yeah, the world lost their marbles.
I feel you act tough, but you're a very soft person deep down.
I can't say I'm used to being analyzed like that. You know, I don't want to be cooped up here. I dream of roaming Vidus, searching for my lost friends.
What's stopping you?
When a god takes a human body, they say that you lose your most precious possession. For some, that's their sight. For others, it's an arm or their legs. Anything that stops you from doing the thing that you were once known for.
What was taken from you, buddy?
Cruel, isn't it?
You have all 4 limbs.
For me, it means that sunlight will kill me.
Oh.
Strange, isn't it? You would think that they would have taken my voice instead.
Oh, he can't be in the sun. Aw.
So that's why you stay here?
If I stray too far, I'm in danger. If I travel as a beast as all gods can, then I would be hunted by humans. Don't get me wrong, though. I'm here because these people need me.
Wonder what his beast form is. Nope, he's a vampire.
You were a skilled tactician and orator, right?
I was.
Then there must have been some kind of mistake, because I can tell you still have it in you to do it once more.
Fawn smiled shyly, and the hint of a curve could be seen on Elliot's lips.
Perhaps what was actually taken from me was my confidence then.
Maybe. There's actually another reason I wanted to come talk to you.
Something else?
I know I could ask anyone here, but from you, I feel something else.
Fawn lifted his arm and held... Fawn lifted his arm and held his hand up in front of Elliot. A moment later, a flame skittered to life in his palm, jumping around as if it had a mind of his own. He can't control it! He can't control it! He's been keeping it hidden this whole time! Dude! In no time at all, it faded out of existence. Elliot quickly stood from his place in the snow and pulled Fawn up to stand beside him, a look of disbelief on his face.
I want to know what this means. What exactly is wrong with me?
Since when have you been able to do that?
Since 10 years ago.
When you ran away from home after causing the death of your parents. I think I'm beginning to understand why I felt a connection to you.
I lit nearly all of my village on fire as I slept. Everyone called me a demon.
So destructive, but so beautiful. The potential is phenomenal. Can you control it now?
No. I've been too scared to ever try to learn. All it does is serve as a reminder of what I did.
I've never seen anything like this. In fact, I can't say I've even heard of a case like you. No matter how I look at you, you're human. And yet...
not a demon.
You would know if that were truly the case. You're definitely mortal.
What is it that's worrying you about him?
Okay, Uncle Iroh, teach him firebending?
He's hurting, and there's nothing I can do about it.
He always has seemed as if he were scared of something.
His past.
What happened?
Quietly, I retold the story of Fawn from his childhood.
So his sister is back in the picture. It must be hard for him. He's lucky to have someone as supportive as you by his side. For now, I believe we must find him. There's something I want to confirm.
What? Right now? Well, he should still be in his room, I think.
She pulled me to my feet and dragged me back to the room that she had prepared for Fawn. When we knocked, no one answered. After a few more moments, Morin gently pushed the door open, but no one was
Where would he
inside.
have gone?
I raced to calm my pounding heart. It's fine. He wouldn't have just left, right? He must be getting some fresh air. Morwen took my arm again and we searched the village. He was nowhere in sight.
He wouldn't have run away, would he?
You would know if that were truly the case. You're definitely mortal.
As we rounded the corner, we came face to face with two people. Elliot's eyes darted towards us and back to Fawn.
Fawn and Elliot. I see you've beat me to it.
Hmm?
Trust me for a moment, Fawn. Give me your hand.
He timidly let Morin take his hand, and she pricked his finger lightly. She raised the finger to her lips and tasted it.
What are you doing?
Vampires, the lot of them! To master the flames of firebending, you must know a simple trick. Pulls out a teapot and made tea to have a cup of tea. Clear your mind and you'll learn soon enough.
It's as I thought. Somewhere in your family tree lies an elder you might not have any knowledge about. A god. A single drop of their blood runs through your veins and has left dormancy. You're what we call a demigod.
What?
I've never seen it happen. Gods usually can't reproduce, you see.
Oh, we slept with a demigod, guys!
You're a miracle.
That's so cool.
A miracle? No one's ever called me that before.
I've heard that you can't control your abilities, but I promise, with training, you would be able to.
Fawn looked up to Elliot, who stared back down at him.
Interesting.
Rain, Morwen, may I have another moment? I promise I'll come find you soon.
Huh?
I looked at Elliot with worry. Morin doesn't trust him, but that's what Fawn wants. Rain and Morin quietly left, leaving Fawn alone with Elliot once again. He looked up into the tall man's face, a glint of seriousness in his eyes.
I want you to teach me how to control my ability.
What makes you think I'd be able to do that? There's plenty of other gods you can ask.
Because I believe in you, and I can already tell from our conversation that you're a good person.
Then stay here.
Stay here?
If you're serious about learning to control it, don't expect it to happen overnight.
Then help us. Let us prove to you that we're worth it. I'm living proof of the connection that exists between gods and humans.
I said I consider it, did I not? Go rest, little Fawn. I will judge whether that connection is enough.
Little Fawn. Elliot skulked off into the shadows, as if becoming one with the night. With the new knowledge weighing on his mind, Fawn found his way back to Rain and Morwen. You're not a demon, you're a demigod.
I wonder just what those two are talking about.
I want to know too.
It's nothing. I just wanted to talk to him.
Fawn, you okay?
I've never been better, actually.
You two must be exhausted. Go, rest. We can talk more tomorrow.
You're a miracle. Our miracle. Yes, he is. He went from seeing himself negatively, like, I'm a demon, you know, something's wrong with me, to, you know, being awoken to the fact that he was born like this because one of his past relatives was a god. He's a miracle. That's a total 180 point of view. Could that elder be the one who pushed the lady? I wonder. It better not be. It better not be. That would be horrible. I could tell just from glancing at Fawn that he didn't want to argue. A night's rest would be good for both of us. Just as I was turning away, I noticed someone standing a short distance apart from us. When our eyes met, he waved meekly.
Why don't I head back first and give you two some time alone?
Are you sure it's all right?
Go on. Go talk to him.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. Do you have some free time?
Oh, Daddy wants to talk to us. What if Lucius is his father? It said, like, in the past he has a relative. I don't know if it'd be Lucius, though. Lucius was a divine speaker, and then he became a god. But when he became a god, he was trapped in Relicavelia, so I don't think it's Lucius. But of course, we love harebrained theories on this channel. So it's on the table. It's on the table until proved different.
Well, I'm not exactly busy. Did you need something?
No, nothing in particular. I just thought we could, I don't know, talk for a bit.
About what?
You know, just stuff.
Hmm?
I feel like I've missed such a big part of your life, and I know I can't fix that instantly, but I'd like a chance to try.
I nodded to him and we walked slowly through the village, side by side. I wanted to get to know him. I didn't blame him for what happened, but I still found it strange to think of him as my father.
Tell me about you. You were raised in an orphanage?
Yeah, for all of my life. The matron found me on her doorstep when I was a baby. I suppose that was right after you,
And, what of this matron? Was she kind to you?
The kindest. I'll always think of Arala as a mother to me. I really miss her.
Arala?
Do you know her?
Gods, what a small world this is. She raised me too.
Wait, what? How? You were raised in an orphanage?
No, of course not. She was more like, my tutor. But it was always more than that. I saw her more than my actual parents.
How did she become our matriarch in the orphanage, though? My grandparents. I'll never get to know them.
But how did she go from being a royal tutor to running an orphanage? It doesn't make any sense.
I told you about how Emil and I snuck out, didn't I? Well, she got all the blame for that. It's something I regret more than anything else. She was punished because of me. By the time we found our way back to Aurelia Cavella, she'd been thrown out of the royal family. I never saw her again after that. I didn't even know if she was alive or not.
She would have known who I really was.
Don't be mad at her. She must have been trying to keep you safe.
I could never be mad at her. I want to thank her. She let me grow up normally.
That's more of a blessing than you realize.
Can I ask you a question, too?
Anytime.
What was my mother like?
He sighed and abruptly stopped walking. Did you bring back the milk, Caspian? Yes, do you have the milk? Did you finally return from the store? Awkward moment when they try to chat with each other. Yeah.
She was my comfort. and a dear friend.
Friend?
Just a friend?
Oh?
It's a long, complicated story. My feelings and emotions were all muddled up. At the time, I didn't even understand what love really was.
So he was gay. He was so freaking gay, and he was trying to discover what was up with himself, and thus he went into a relationship with her and ended up getting her pregnant. But he is gay. He loves Emil.
But I was heartbroken, even if I didn't know the word back then. She was kind, caring, and understood what I was going through. We supported each other, and I enjoyed her company. She needed help. She was sick and wanted to run away from her family, and I was alone and desperately wanted someone to lean on. Neither of us were in love, but I did love her very much.
It's Emil then.
It's a thing of the past, but once upon a time, I would have called him the one.
Well, apparently you guys still have a string of fate attaching you both. So, he is the one. You guys just have to patch things up. I yawned and the sadness wiped away from Caspian's face. Don't say yeah. I can read the word yawn and I start yawning. It's torture.
Go on, get some sleep. I'm sorry for keeping you.
Before I go, it was Soren that pointed me to you.
That was the guy's name that was being possessed by Nox. Soren.
Soren?
He spoke of you so highly. He misses you very much.
I always wanted to go back and find him, but after what happened...
I heard about it. Right now, he's unconscious, with a chance of never waking up. When he does, I want you to be there with me.
Aww.
Of course.
Good. Then I better head to bed. Good night.
As I turned around, I heard Caspian shuffling behind me.
Raen? Thank you.
You too.
Finally by myself, I started on the way back to my room, following the direction I'd seen Fawn and Morwen go only a few minutes before. Eventually I found it and pushed open the wooden door. I entered to find Fawn sitting up in bed waiting for me.
Hey.
Did you two have a chance to talk things through?
We did. Thank you, Fawn. I really want a chance to get to know him.
He seems like a good person. You two really do look similar, huh?
What? Gonna push me to the side and go after my dad instead?
Yeah, I found the DILF. I laughed and stumbled through the dark room until I collapsed on the bed. It was old and worn down, but it looked like heaven after the day's events. Fawn lay down next to me. We stared up at the ceiling with Fawn laughing.
No way! Although, he is quite handsome, huh?
As the elephant in the room became more and more apparent, silence filled the space around us. I thought back to what Morn said about Fawn. How to bring it up? I guess I should just be direct.
So, you're kinda related to a god, huh?
And you're a speaker. Do you think that's why we were drawn to each other?
Nah.
No?
I was drawn to you because you're amazing, adorable, perfect in every way imaginable. The fact that I ended up a speaker and you ended up having a drop of god blood or whatever doesn't change that.
You're so cheesy.
Sorry. I'm trying to get better at flirting, I promise. Bear with me for a little while.
No need. You're good like this. I'm scared, you know.
Me too.
I'm scared, but I'll learn to control the fire if it means I can protect you.
Aww. I raised my hand to my injuries, but still ached dully.
I want to learn to control mine too, even if it's not that useful. I'm no demigod of fire, that's for sure.
Oh, shut up. I'm not anything that special.
Really? You seem pretty special to me.
Aww. Suddenly, Fawn's face took up my entire vision. He sat up and was now leaning over top of me. His face was serious, lacking the usual nervousness or embarrassment. I reached up and held both of his cheeks.
I love you.
In place of response, he leant down and kissed me. Slow, calming, full of love.
I love you too. Despite everything that's happened, I am so glad that I met you. I think I was probably born to find you.
Who's the one with the corny lines now?
Oh, shut up.
Hooking my hands around his neck, I pulled him down to kiss me again, our bodies pressing into each other. The room might have been freezing, but his body heat instantly warmed me. It didn't take long for our kiss to change into something more passionate, and my hands worked down his back, feeling at his muscles beneath his clothing. I was still surprised, honestly. He really was hiding some strength.
Fawn?
He stammered. The same fond redness I come to know and love returned to his face.
I brought the stuff.
Stuff?
The stuff.
What stuff was that again?
You're teasing me, aren't you?
Yes, he is.
Maybe a little. I think I'm developing a fondness for it.
Well, maybe I should give it a try.
With his eyes locked onto mine, his hands traveled down my body before cupping me through my pants. Oh no! Are we doing this again? Are we doing this again? No. What if his dad walks in? Oh no. It's gotta skip it, right? It's gotta skip it. We're not doing this again, are we? Are we? Oh no. Okay, I don't know if we're going into spicy territory or not. If we are, this will be cut out of the VOD later. Okay, last time we did this live, I had a traumatic experience. So, yeah, hopefully we're just gonna skip the scene this time. Okay, everybody, if you missed this part, we had another spicy moment between Fawn and Raen. I'm sorry it's cut out. You can find it on my Patreon if you do want to watch it. And we're actually going to be ending right here for this week. So a lot happened. We got a lot of info. Like, Fawn is a freaking demigod. That is really cool. Good for him. I'm glad he feels like he can be more at peace with that and not feel so guilty about himself. I mean, I know he caused the fire, but he was sleeping. He didn't mean to cause the fire. And we're trying to convince the god of war to help us, which he might not, but yes. So in the next episode, I'm kind of foreseeing maybe we'll finally leave the town and come up with a plan to go back to Relicavelia. So we just have to, like, wait and see. Yes, I'll remember this time. Alright, thank you all my lovely chickadees for joining. Sorry, my brain went blank for a minute. I hope everybody had a lovely Valentine's Day. I hope this was a good little gift for you guys. Remember, even if you don't have someone special, you really do. I am your Valentine. And I wish you all the love in the world. And I love you. if you want to see more of our adventures, consider subscribing to my channel. We have a lot of cool boys love videos up there, along with some yandere videos, you know, one of my slight exceptions. Or check out our Patreon or Discord. Heck, even my Twitch. We do play the 100 Baby Challenge over there with the BL twist. It's a boy getting pregnant by boys. So if you like BL, you should go check it out. And I am finally going to leave and make me a cup of tea, because my god, I need it after this episode. Alright, my dears. I will see you guys next time. Bye.